Hey everybody, welcome back to Swift Guitar Lessons. Today I want to share with you the lead guitar concept that forever changed my playing. And that is the idea that we must play through the changes, not just playing a lick that works over one chord and then another lick that works for the next. Instead, what we really want is transition licks that take us from one chord to the next and follow that change melodically. Okay, so I think I've come up with a pretty good example for you today. Two transition licks. The first takes us from E7 to the 4 chord in the key of E, A7, and then we're going to go back to the tonic chord E. So E7 to A7, back to E. It's going to look and sound like this. A 1, 2, 3, E shuffle. A very common musical scenario. 1, 2, 3, 1. Now we're on A7. And then made our way back to the E7 chord. Okay, so that was a series of two transition licks that take us from E7 to A7 and then back to the E7 chord again. Okay, breaking that down, close look at the fretboard of this Fender Stratocaster. Remember everybody, I'm giving this guitar away. In order to win it, all you have to do is head over to swiftguitar.com/giveaways. Okay, now taking a look at our first transition lick. It takes us from E7 to A7 and makes use of one of the defining principles of the playing through the changes concept. And that is the idea that I can create the first part of my lick using just a basic scale that works well with the chord that I'm playing over top of. So I'm playing over top of E7, so E minor pentatonic scale will work fine. In this case, in its C-shaped position, which is really good because it overlaps with the 4 chord A7, which is the chord I need to transition into. Okay, so the first part of our lick is just going to be built on that minor pentatonic scale. All that was minor pentatonic scale, key of E. Okay, so I'm playing low E string open, then I'm going to slide up to the 7th fret of the low E string, and then play a triplet. So 7, 5, 7. So far you have? Alright, then a walk up. 5, 7, 5, 7. Adding that into the mix. One more time real slow. Alright, then we're going to play 4, 7, 4 on the G string. Alright, put that together and we have... Alright, now, the next measure is coming, and we're going to go to the A7 chord. So I need to highlight the nearest chord tone belonging to that A7 chord. So I have it right here. The major third and the root note of the A7 chord. 6th fret of the G string sliding up in, and then go to the 5th fret high E string. Alright, you put that together and we have a very nice transition taking us from the E7 chord to the A7 chord using the E minor pentatonic scale and then resolving into a chord tone of A7. Alright, from there I can take this little partial of A7 and further drive home the idea that I'm playing over top of the 7th chord. So that way the listener can really hear the chords that I'm implying. So I have the 8th fret of the G string, 7th fret B, 8th fret high E string. I'll strum that chord, bring it up a half step. All right, just like that. You add that into the mix and we have a very cool way of going from E to A. A 1, 2, 3, 4, and E. All right, now make sure that you can count that lick out. So 1, and 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 1, and 2, 3, and 4, and... Okay, now we need a lick taking us back from A7 to the E7 chord or tonic. All right, to do that, I'm going to picture the minor blues scale that overlaps with the A7 chord. And then, just for a little extra flavor, I'll mix in the major third of that A7 chord. Okay, so once again, this lick going from A7 to E looks and sounds like this. And real slow. Okay, so I'm on the high E string, 8th fret. I'm going to bend it up slightly. It'll sound great if I can block some strings and rake down. Then I'm going down to 5. Same thing on the B string. All right, then we're going to slide 8 down to 7, down to 5 with a pull off, and then go to the root note. So far you have. We gotta slide pretty quickly in order for the phrasing to work. All right, then we just need to wrap up that A7 chord, minor third to major third, back to the root note, and then to the root note of the chord that is next in the progression, E dominant 7. So right there is an E note on the 7th fret of the A string, which is the root note of a very handy position of the E7 chord. 7, 6, 7. All right, you put that lick together and we have. All right, you tie it in with the first transition lick that we have, and we got a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. All right, a great sequence going from E to A and then back to E again. All right, one more time real slow. A 1, 2, 3, shuffle, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 1, and 2, 3, and 4, and 1. Just like that, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this concept and that you'll find it useful. In principle, it's very simple. Over the chord that you're on, play a scale that works well with it, like the E minor pentatonic scale in this case, and then as the chord progression advances, be ready with a chord tone, the nearest chord tone that you have at your disposal. From there, you can jump to another scale and repeat the process. Now, before you end your practice session today, remember everybody, sign up to win this Fender Stratocaster Player Series Fender Stratocaster. You can head over to swiftguitar.com/giveaways. Enjoy your practice.